Welcome to FlashCore, where we cut through the noise with a clear, principled lens. Today, we're exploring the escalating tensions between India and Pakistan in 2025, triggered by the Pahalgam attack in Kashmir. With a focus on sovereignty, non-intervention, and a shifting global order, we'll break down the risks, stakes, and implications of this crisis. Stick around for a straightforward analysis. On April 22, 2025, a terrorist attack in Pahalgam, Indian-administered Kashmir, killed 26 civilians, mostly tourists. India points to Pakistan-based militants, while Islamabad denies involvement and calls for a neutral investigation. The fallout has been swift. India suspended the Indus Water Treaty, closed the Wagah-Attari border, and expelled Pakistani diplomats. Pakistan responded by banning Indian flights and warning that water-sharing interference could be an act of war. Small arms fire along the line of control continues, and Pakistan's defense minister has flagged an imminent Indian strike. This is more than a regional dispute. It's a potential nuclear flashpoint. National security drives India's response. Shutting borders and suspending treaties signal a firm stance under Modi to protect citizens after a brazen attack. This aligns with a worldview that prioritizes a nation's right to self-defense. However, unlike interventionist approaches that might push for escalation or foreign involvement, a different angle emerges here. Both nations are nuclear-armed, with India's $81 billion defense budget far outpacing Pakistan's $10 billion, though Pakistan's arsenal and Chinese support create a balance. A full-scale conflict could spiral into catastrophe, not just for the region, but globally. Past US-led interventions might have fueled such escalation, but the US, under Trump, signaled on April 26 that India and Pakistan should resolve this independently, a shift from earlier eras of overreach. The crisis unfolds in a changing world. Global power is no longer centered on one hegemon. India, a BRICS member, strengthens ties with Russia for arms and energy. Pakistan leans on China through the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, solidified by President Zardari's February 2025 Beijing visit. In this multipolar landscape, regional powers act with greater autonomy, but their conflicts affect emerging blocs. China urges restraint, likely to safeguard its investments. Russia, tied to both nations, seeks de-escalation to preserve BRICS unity. This setup highlights the value of decentralized power. Local disputes shouldn't be co-opted by a single global agenda, while showing that new rivalries persist in a rebalanced world. The stakes are immense. A nuclear exchange is the worst-case scenario. India's no-first-use policy suggests it could absorb a limited Pakistani strike, but retaliate decisively, as retired Lieutenant General KJS Dhillon noted. Pakistan, strapped by economic woes and IMF reliance, can't sustain a long conflict, but might escalate to maintain credibility. A limited clash, like India's 2016 or 2019 surgical strikes, is more plausible. Though it risks escalation, diplomacy remains an option. Qatar and the UN advocate restraint, and Pakistan's call for a neutral probe could open talks. A resolution hinges on both nations prioritizing sovereignty over brinkmanship, addressing the crisis directly, rather than as pawns of larger powers. The India-Pakistan tensions of 2025 test a world in transition. The emphasis on self-reliance, restraint, and a multipolar order frames the path forward. What do you think? Will this remain a cold conflict or flare up? Share your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more clear-eyed analysis. Until next time, stay sharp and stay free.